Imagine stepping onto a train that appears out of nowhere, its ghostly whistle piercing through the silence of the night. A train with no destination, no passengers, and no return. This isn't just any train. This is the cursed Midnight Express, a vessel bound to the souls of the damned. Meet Alex Mitchell, a skeptic railway officer who never believed in ghost stories until he found himself boarding this haunted locomotive. What began as a routine inspection soon turned into a chilling battle for survival, uncovering secrets that defy all logic and reason. Who or what was the conductor, and what dark force kept this train running through the shadows of the night? Tonight, we take you on a journey into the unknown, where every creak, every shadow, and every chilling whisper tells a story of terror. Stay with us as we unravel the haunting tale of the cursed Midnight Express. But beware, once you board, there's no turning back. So let's start the story. Alex Mitchell had never believed in ghost stories. He was a practical man, grounded in the world of logic and reason. A railway officer by profession, he had seen many strange things during his years working with trains, but never anything beyond the ordinary. That was until one dark and fateful night when he came face to face with something that defied every law of nature. This is the story of that encounter the night he boarded the cursed Midnight Express, a ghostly train with a dark history and the haunting journey that would change his life forever. It was a cold winter night in New England when Alex received the call. The station was quieter than usual, as the last train for the night had long since departed and the mist from the nearby forest had begun to creep across the platform. The railway station, an old building with ivy climbing its brick walls, seemed to be swallowed by the fog. Only the sound of the occasional train horn broke the silence. Alex Mitchell, the voice on the phone, crackled. "We need you to investigate something. There's been a report of strange activity on the Midnight Express." Alex raised an eyebrow. The Midnight Express was a name that carried with it an almost mythical quality. It was said to be a ghost train, only appearing at night, running on tracks that seemed to lead nowhere. Stories of its eerie presence had circulated for years, but Alex had always dismissed them as nothing more than old folk tales, nothing more than superstition. "I'm listening," Alex said, intrigued but still skeptical. "It's the usual thing, people hearing strange noises, feeling cold drafts, and some even claim to see things. People who board it don't come back. We need someone to check it out. You're the only one left in town tonight. You up for it?" Alex hesitated for a moment. He had heard the rumors, of course, but to him, it all seemed like nonsense. "I'm on it," he said, determination in his voice. "I'll investigate." He grabbed his coat, slipped on his boots, and headed out into the night. The fog was thick, and the chill in the air seemed to grow colder with every step he took toward the train depot. As he approached the platform, a familiar sound, the whistle of a train, echoed in the distance. Alex looked up, his heart skipping a beat. The train was coming. The train appeared slowly through the fog, its headlights dim and flickering. It seemed to materialize out of nowhere, like a phantom rising from the depths of the night. The train cars were old, their once glorious exteriors rusted and faded, but still carrying an aura of mystery. As it approached the platform, Alex felt a sudden chill run down his spine. Something about the train felt wrong. The train came to a stop, its wheels screeching against the tracks in a way that sounded unnatural, as if the very train itself was reluctant to stop. The platform was eerily silent, save for the soft whistle of the wind cutting through the trees. Alex stood motionless for a moment, staring at the train. The door to the nearest car creaked open, and out stepped a figure, a man dressed in an old-fashioned conductor's uniform. The conductor was tall, his face obscured by the shadow of his wide-brimmed hat, but Alex could see his eyes red as blood, glowing faintly in the dim light. He was staring directly at Alex, a strange smile playing across his lips. "Ticket, please," the conductor said in a low, almost mocking voice. Alex swallowed hard, his throat suddenly dry. He had expected to find something strange, but this was beyond what he had imagined. The man was unnerving, his presence almost otherworldly. Alex took a deep breath and stepped forward. "I'm here to inspect the train," he said, trying to sound confident. "I'm a railway officer." The conductor's smile widened, and for a moment, it seemed as though the man's eyes glowed even brighter. "Ah, so you are the brave one," he said, his voice deepening, a hint of amusement in it. "This will be your last journey." The words sent a shiver through Alex's spine, but he tried to brush it off. "Last journey? I'm just here to inspect the train. Where's your paperwork?" But the conductor didn't respond. Instead, he simply stepped aside, gesturing for Alex to board the train. There was something deeply unsettling about the gesture. As Alex stepped inside, the door slammed shut behind him, its sound echoing through the empty platform. The inside of the train was dimly lit, the flickering lights casting long, eerie shadows across the old wooden seats. The air inside was was cold, colder than Alex had expected, as if the warmth of life had been sucked out of it. The silence was oppressive, broken only by the faint sound of the train's wheels clattering against the tracks. As the train began to move, Alex walked down the narrow aisle, peering into the empty compartments. He could feel the weight of the cold air pressing against him, making his skin tingle. Something was wrong. The train had an oppressive stillness to it, a sense of emptiness that made Alex's breath catch in his throat. He moved forward, hoping to find the conductor again, but as he passed through the compartments, he noticed something odd. There was no one else on board. The seats were empty, save for a few scattered personal belongings. It was as if the passengers had vanished into thin air. Suddenly, Alex saw a shadow in the farthest compartment. A figure was sitting in the dark, still as death. The conductor. "Show me your ticket," the conductor said again, his voice now deeper and more chilling. Alex felt his heart race as he stepped forward, trying to maintain his composure. "I told you, I'm here to inspect the train. Where are the passengers? What's going on here?" The conductor's smile widened, and for the first time, Alex noticed something truly disturbing. The man's smile seemed unnatural, as though it had been stretched too far. "This train doesn't have passengers," the conductor said, his voice dripping with malice. "It has souls, souls that are bound to this train forever." Alex felt his stomach churn. The weight of the conductor's words settled in his chest like a stone. "Souls?" Alex asked, his voice trembling despite himself. "What do you mean? What is this place?" "This is the cursed Midnight Express," the conductor said, his voice now a whisper. "A train that travels through the darkness, carrying the souls of the damned. Once you board, you cannot leave, and you, Alex Mitchell, have just sealed your fate." Alex's mind raced. He tried the door to the next compartment, but it wouldn't open. Panic gripped him. He could feel the atmosphere growing colder, the train's speed picking up, as if the train itself was alive. A deep guttural sound echoed from somewhere within the train, like the roar of a distant beast. The conductor's eyes glowed brighter, and Alex could feel the weight of those red eyes on him. He felt a cold hand on his shoulder, turning him around, but when he looked, there was no one there. The train's lights flickered, and the temperature dropped even further. Strange whispers filled the air, whispers that seemed to come from all directions. It was as though the train itself was alive, a sentient being full of angry spirits, all calling out for release. Alex fought to keep his composure. He knew that fear was his greatest enemy now, but no matter how hard he tried to keep his focus, the shadows of the souls trapped within the train began to take shape, their faces twisted in eternal suffering. He could hear their cries, their pleas for freedom. "You can't escape," the conductor whispered, his voice now coming from all around Alex. "This train will always find you. No one leaves once they board." Alex gritted his teeth, summoning all the courage he had left. "I'm not leaving without freeing these souls," he said, his voice steady, despite the terror clawing at him. The conductor laughed, a laugh that seemed to come from every corner of the train. "You think you can defeat me?" he hissed. "This train is mine, and I will never let you go." Suddenly, the train's speed increased, the wind howling outside the windows. Alex's mind raced. He needed to escape, but how? The doors were locked, and the conductor was everywhere. He had to find a way to stop this nightmare. Alex remembered the small knife he kept in his pocket for emergencies. It wasn't much, but it was the only weapon he had. With trembling hands, he pulled it out and advanced toward the conductor. As soon as the knife glinted in the dim light, the conductor's grin turned into a snarl. "You think a mere knife can defeat me?" the conductor sneered, but Alex didn't hesitate. He lunged at the figure, slashing the air. To his surprise, the conductor's form shimmered as if he were made of smoke. The blade passed right through him, but the figure's malevolent laugh echoed in the air, sending chills down Alex's spine. "You cannot harm me," the conductor said, his voice now more ominous. "This train is mine, and it will carry me forever." But Alex refused to give up. He swung the knife again, this time with all his strength. As he did, something strange happened. The conductor's figure flickered once more, and Alex saw a glimpse of something more, an angry spirit trapped in a cursed body, bound to the train by some dark force. "I know what you are," Alex said, his voice steady, "and I won't let you keep these souls forever." With that, Alex lunged forward once more, this time aiming directly at the conductor's heart. The knife struck home, and the conductor let out a terrible scream. The train shook violently, as if it were about to derail. For a moment, everything went silent. Then, slowly, the conductor's form began to dissolve into the air. His red eyes dimmed, and his body crumbled into nothingness. The train slowed, the eerie atmosphere lifting. The ghostly whispers faded, and the cold air began to dissipate. Alex collapsed to the floor, exhausted but alive. He had done it. He had freed the souls trapped on the cursed Midnight Express. The train came to a stop, and the doors opened on their own. Alex stepped off onto the platform, his heart still racing. The train, the conductor, and the souls were gone. For a moment, everything was still. The fog had lifted, and the air was once again breathable. Alex had won, but he couldn't shake the feeling that something was missing. The victory felt hollow. The conductor had been defeated, but was the curse truly broken? Years passed, but Alex would never forget that night. Even after returning to his normal life, he often found himself waking in the dead of night, hearing the distant whistle of a train on the tracks. The cursed Midnight Express might have been gone, but Alex knew that evil never truly disappeared, only waited for the right moment to return. And so, he kept a wary eye on the tracks, forever haunted by the memory of that fateful journey.